Hey, there we go. There we go. Hey, what's going down? Excuse me, y'all. I sound a little crazy, but I promise you, I feel great. I feel really good. And it's a lot of wrestling to talk about, or not that much, depending on how you watched last night's PLE. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it like nobody else in the world. Let's talk about it on the first Black Champ podcast. And I'm still the pick. Yeah. Cam from the Port.
And I am JR Bank. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download to the Barbershare Network, home of the FBC.pod, First Black Chat. Make sure you follow us on everything at the FBC POD. Also, make sure you get that merch you see Camp got on, the yellow sunshine and the rainbows and champions, celebrating Black champions, that is. So you make sure you go ahead and do that. Click the link in the bio and you get all of that. So, last night, Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get into it, man. I'll just kick it off by saying it was anticlimactic. Is the word, the term that I think I will use on this one. It was a lot of pomp and circumstances around this pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like this was the kickoff to the road to SummerSlam. And it does not feel like it was the kickoff to the road to SummerSlam. It felt like, I don't want to say glorified house show. It just felt like something was missing outside of the Money in the Bank matches. Yeah. What about you?
I'm with you. And anticlimactic is definitely the word I would use off top. Now, I feel like because of the promotion of the new and improved SummerSlam, that's what I'm going to call it. You know, when we talking stadium status, it's 2 days, and they already, I'm telling you, the cities it's going to be in. You know what I'm saying? Like, just moving forward. To me, I was expecting a lot more, just than to get us hyped. Like, SummerSlam, can you, like, yo, like this one? This gonna be like the last one day one, but 2025 we're going crazy. See, that's what I thought was gonna happen, and I'll just be real. I didn't get that, and I really don't know why, especially for Toronto.
Yeah, let me just say, I don't think it was anything wrong with the Money in the Bank matches. Let me just say this, because the ladies showed out. Right. While there's a couple of botches here, there, Zoe Stark, we got to have a conversation about that in the back, about how, you know, it might be time to do some certain things, because even that one spot where she hit her head on the ladder, when I saw it, I said she's gonna hit her head on the ladder. She did not move the ladder or the woman. When it happened, I was like, I knew this was gonna happen. But the women showed out. The now triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. It surprised me, but I ain't mad at it. It was surprising, but I'm not mad at it. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and start with the results from last night. Let's go into the first match of the night. Drew McIntyre defeating Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, Chad Gable, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. Now, let me say this. Jey Uso is more over than I thought, and he was mega over.
Yeah, man.
When I said last week that he is reaching Jake the Snake Roberts territory, I think it's officially here.
Oh yeah. Sure.
So it's two questions that I have here, and it's all contingent on what happened last night. Are you surprised at Drew McIntyre winning the Money in the Bank? And considering where we are at with the Bloodline story, does Jey Uso need any title?
Considering the Bloodline story, he absolutely needs a title. Like, wildly enough, and I don't know if I went into detail on this on last week's episode, but literally what happened to Drew McIntyre was exactly why I felt he shouldn't win the match. And that's exactly why. Like, he already has a story. It's already built. We want, like, don't get me wrong, just for your wrestling fans that like to see people get beat up, I do understand the hype and the willingness to want to see Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. But that ain't the match right now. It's just not the match right now. The match is CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. So in that match, I'm sitting here like, yo, he shouldn't win because the story that he has, dare I say, is greater than the Money in the Bank match and the title. So now, fast forward to your other question, Jey Uso definitely should have won last night just based on how he kicked off the show and how the show ended. Because, yeah, in one instance, taking the belt off of Cody Rhodes, because that is the guy that took the belt away from the Bloodline, is a major story. But, man, don't we want to flirt with the idea that the Bloodline will take every world title back again, just like they did when Roman Reigns became the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. I was invested in the potential of that, and we're not getting it.
Normally, I would agree with you in this case. Normally, I would. But after last night, I said to myself, who's bigger, Jey Uso or the World Heavyweight Championship? I think Jey Uso is more over than that belt.
Yeah,
it's not even close. See, especially with this extra added possibility of him somehow getting involved in the family business again. And we're going to get into the what happened towards the end or at the end. But the promo on SmackDown made me go, all right, I feel like this is going to go in the direction where the Cousins is going to have to save Big Cuz. And it's going to, at least by Survivor Series, be something big. And I don't want anything near him as far as titles and stuff. I believe it's going to happen. I believe 2025 we'll see Jey Uso with the belt. Hell, I would not be shocked or surprised if we see Jey Uso in the main event of WrestleMania Night 1. I would not be shocked or surprised. Okay. I would not be shocked or surprised so much that I am starting my Royal Rumble standings early, and my odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble right now is Jey Uso. I am that certain that he's going to have a major title in 2025.
Okay.
But after what happened on Friday, last Friday, and last night, I feel like we are about to hit a fever pitch when it comes to the Bloodline, and I don't need a briefcase on him because I don't want him to go over on Cody Rhodes. Then Cody Rhodes, The Rock, Roman Reigns are earmarked for each other, and I'm cool with that. But I want Jey Uso's title story to be separate from the Bloodline story. So when he gets it, it feels special. Now, the next day, we find out he's the new tribal chief and all of that shit. That's cool. But what I want is for his title to be separate from what happens when he connects with the family to go up against the second cousins and his brother and see what happens. Normally, I would agree with you, though. Like last night, when they started it off, I was like, damn, I was dumb as hell for picking Chad Gable. I'm dumb as hell for picking Chad Gable. But even in my thoughts around the Chad Gable pick, we was probably going to see, the the Wyatt Six. I thought that CM Punk was going to pop up in the Money in the Bank, or at least AJ Lee, because it was reports that she was there. It was so many pop-ups possible, and Triple H also was like, yo, we got some surprises and stuff like that in store. Didn't realize what the true surprise was, but I'm cool with him not winning it.
Okay.
I am, but I wasn't necessarily cool with Drew McIntyre winning it. I think that they could have did what they did last night and got Seth Rollins involved without sacrificing the Money in the Bank. Exactly. That was the only thing that I felt like the WWE really truly missed out on. I honestly would have liked to saw Chad Gable with the Money in the Bank, or Andrade, somebody who does not really sniff a championship, and either it's like Damian Sandow or Baron Corbin or Otis, or maybe it's like Jack Swagger, you know. Yeah. But either way it go, you put somebody in a prime spot. I don't think that you needed to do what you did last night in order to get Seth Rollins involved, because the man don't like CM Punk in the first place.
Right.
CM Punk could just breathe by Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins a snap. So I don't think they needed to do that at all.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I think that's just kind of the stark reminder for maybe the casual fans, or for the people that are like, hey, yo, you do realize that this ain't over either. You know, the Seth Punk thing is not over. I know we've consumed the first half of your year with Drew versus Punk, but this was the original story too. Like, before he got injured, before everything happened, like, we were supposed to do this. So that's the I get it moment, but I don't like it. I'm with you. I do want to say real quick about the match. If we're going to move on from the match, yo, Chad Gable being the power guy in the match is super underrated and a dope twist or turn. Like, obviously, we expect Drew McIntyre to just be Drew McIntyre, but Chad Gable having the illest power set in the ladder match that I've seen in quite a while was really good to see.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Who do you feel like was the standout for Money in the Bank, the men's ladder match? Seems like it's Chad Gable to you.
Yeah, because some things we expected. I expected the crowd to be supremely behind Jay and LA Knight, and we got our yeah moments, and that was cool. I get it. Andrade showing up like Mexican Bret Hart, that was kind of fire. And you know what? I'll tell you this. I think he might have had spot of the night though, if I remember it right. He did something that was so out of pocket that I was just like, Jesus, like, people gonna die tonight. so for me though, I think Chad Gable. I think as Triple H talks about changes and surprises, I think that's one of the ones. Hey, listen, no way Chad Gable doesn't have performance of the night to me in that match, because even the crowd had to be like, hey, that was fire, but you still suck, bro. Like, hey, when they start the "you still suck" chants, that means, okay, we can't hate on this, but fam, no, we gotta get you the fuck out of here too, though. At the same time.
Yeah, man, Chad Gable was definitely my star of this match. Like you said, the power moves that he was putting out there, some of the bumps, all of that. He was definitely somebody who shined in this match. Yeah. Moving on to the Intercontinental Championship. And let me say, before we even go further, let me say this. We was wrong a lot last night.
Yeah.
We was wrong a lot last night. We was wrong but normally a lot.
Yeah, we ain't been this off since like August of 2017.
Yeah, we was wrong a lot last night. As Landon stands behind me, and stuff, want to be involved in the video, and we was definitely wrong on this match right here. We both expected Braun Breaker to destroy Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen.
No.
Not only did that not happen, that was a clean victory.
Yeah, man.
Very clean victory. Your thoughts on that match?
They officially got to let me know what Braun Breaker's purpose is now. You officially got to let me know, because before they even sanctioned this match, even before it became something, I think my May guarantee, if not my early June guarantee, was the greatest way to keep Braun Breaker in the air of monster heels and to make sure that he has monstrous like hate as well as fear is to have him totally demolish, squash, run over, annihilate Sami Zayn. And they set up the opportunity, but yet they give Sami Zayn just one more victory, I guess, to prove that he's not the paper champ. But I don't think nobody thought that. I don't think anybody looks at Sami Zayn and what he's done, and we think transitional champ, we think paper champ, we think anything negative or derogatory. I think Sami Zayn is one of the only people that gets himself over in victory or defeat. So I wouldn't have, like, literally, I'm more worried that Braun Breaker lost this match than I am that Sami Zayn won it and who's next. So that's where I'm at with it.
I thought that Sami Zayn was going to get destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
If it's anybody that can lose in a manner like that and still be good, it's Sami Zayn. In fact, I would have loved to see the return match at SummerSlam just to see if Sami Zayn could get it back. Not saying that Braun Breaker had to go on a Gunther run with the Intercontinental Championship, but I felt it would have been great to see him win last night and destroy Sami Zayn. I will basically use one of your favorite movies of all time in this, Rocky III.
Hey.
I think that it could have been a Rocky III type situation where Braun Breaker gets his clubber laying on, and then he destroys people for the next month and a half, and then we look and say, does Sami Zayn still got it? Does he still have enough in the chamber to beat somebody as ruthless, as scary as Braun Breaker? I think that at least last night they missed that opportunity. Yeah. Now, we never know what happens next Friday when we see both of them, and maybe Braun Breaker does get another shot, and then he gets the belt, and then he does what we say. But we're talking last night. And last night, I think it was a missed opportunity to put the belt around him. And then also, when I think about it, as we go into the next match, which we briefly discussed in the beginning, no titles changed hands for the exception of Friday.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that a little bit later, too. Drew McIntyre, Seth freaking Rollins, and Damian Priest. It turns out to be a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship because Drew cashed in the Money in the Bank that he won earlier in the night, and he would go on to lose to Damian Priest. And CM Punk was a major part of that. But I want to get to before the match started.
Mm-hmm.
The look that Finn Balor gave Damian Priest.
Mm-hmm.
Storylines is upon us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Now, of course, if Damian Priest would have lost, he was out the Judgment Day. But if he would have won, which he did, he'd still be in there. But Seth Rollins can't get no title shot no more. So we'll get into why Seth Rollins, bigger Seth Rollins, might I add, is now pissed to the point of pistivity. I have not used that term in a while, but he is pissed to the point of pistivity because he is not going to be able to wrestle for that title as long as Damian Priest has it. But the look that Finn Balor gave Damian Priest, and might I add, during the match, as you said, hey, you don't need nobody, but why your ass keep looking at the rent?
Right.
So your thoughts on This Finn Balor situation, which definitely is not going to lead to a title match between the two, I don't believe. I believe Gunther is the uncrowned champion at this point.
Yeah.
But what is your outlook on Finn versus Damian Priest? Because it looks like that's where we headed.
So, excuse me. I didn't mean to cough in the mic like that. I should hit the mute. But I think it's now time to acknowledge that Finn Balor has been leading the Judgment Day since Rhea Ripley has gotten hurt and since Damian has got the world title. And overall, the Judgment Day is in a much better space because of what Finn Balor is allowing to happen.
Allowing?
Yes, what he's allowing to happen. He took that room key for two reasons. One, live fire. But also, he was like, hey, look, we got the woman that's the champ. I ain't saying that we don't want Rhea back, but maybe we just need the champ. And in turn, she gets them a tag title match. They beat Awesome Truth. So now we're back to 3 belts in the Judgment Day. Now we got Dom. Dom's still over. Dom talking less and still over. Dom has a lot of things going on, as including just like, you know, the plug and play of now like Liv is now Rhea. But it's all up for him no matter what happens, because he should have a singles title by now, right? Like, I think if we're not given the Intercontinental Championship run to Braun Breaker, my pick is for Dominic Mysterio at this point now. But yeah, so all of that to say this: while Damian Priest has been going out to the ring, trying to have these solo matches and trying to say how he doesn't need the Judgment Day, it literally has been Finn Balor who has kept every title in the conversation with the Judgment Day. And so now he's like, okay, so you keep saying you don't want to be a part of this, and you mad at the Liv thing, you mad at the Carlito thing, you mad at like these decisions being made without you, but we up, okay? we was down when you said you was the leader. But now we up now that I'm just making decisions and you finding out about it later. So now I literally see Finn Balor being like, okay, well, you don't want to be a part of Judgment Day? Bet. Because you seem to think that only the world title is it makes you beneath the Judgment Day now. He's like, well, let me set reality straight for you. That's the storyline that I think that is building up. I can't wait to see it. I am with you. I don't think it needs to be for the world title, because it's bigger than that. It's literally about how people, hey, you know what? Get a little money and don't want to come back to the hood.
Hey, that is a great analogy when it comes to this shit. And yeah, as you were talking, yeah, when you look at it, they can do like a vignette. They can do a montage that shows all of the things that Damian Priest said to do and all of the things that Finn Balor did in order to keep everything moving. And then you will be like, damn, Finn has been leading the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Finn has been the one that's been pulling all the strings and calling all the shots. He is the one who took the key card and probably went and talked to Liv and say, hey, do this, we gonna get us a tag team title shot and get our tag team belts back. But this time it's gonna be me and JD, and it's not gonna be Damian Priest who's the champion. Damian Priest said he don't need us, but look what happens. Anytime he needs some help, we there, and he keeps this belt. Dom, I think, goes where Rhea goes, unfortunately. Because I think the red herring might be Liv and Finn and not Liv and Dominic. It is to distract Dominic from all of that stuff, which if that were to happen, not gonna lie, I would hate that. Dominic Mysterio needs to be a heel, a full-time heel. He does not need to be cheered upon. He does not need the love of Rhea Ripley all over him once they turn on Rhea Ripley and Liv is a part of the Judgment Day. When Liv says that she's taking everything, she needs to legit take everything. But I have the strangest feeling that Dominic Mysterio is not going to be a part of the Judgment Day package plan. I just got a feeling. I hope I'm wrong.
You know what? It's possible because now where I thought the Judgment Day was going to just break up altogether, they've just seemingly restructured. And now the Latin guy in Judgment Day is Carlito. And JD is now who Finn used to be. And Liv is Rhea. So like literally this is, and now that would make this with the third or fourth incarnation, depending on how you view the period with Edge before Finn Balor came.
Back when they was supernatural.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Back when they was Undertaker Light.
Man, right. Right. Super facts. Undertaker Light is a fact.
I mean that. But that's what makes me nervous about this whole thing. That's what makes me nervous about this whole thing is that Dominic is going to be the odd man out, just used as the pawn. And in fact, I would rather Dominic Mysterio pop up and be the leader than anything else. But I just got that strange feeling I had the strange feeling that they was going to go the Radicals way, like how just everybody just slowly split apart. Where now I believe that Finn is going to lead the group, which if you look at Finn and leading groups, I mean, hey, he did found one of the biggest wrestling groups of all time in the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And they're in the clubhouse.
Hey, listen.
What's that? The X-Files music. So there's that. Now let's go to the CM Punk part of this. We knew CM Punk was gonna cost Drew McIntyre something tonight or last night. We just didn't think it was going to be the title because we didn't think he was gonna win Money in the Bank. But there we have it. Not only does CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre, he cost his mortal enemy, Seth freaking Rollins, who looked bulkier last night. Am I wrong that it looks like Seth Rollins is about 250 and bulkier now than he was when we last saw him? Was I tripping?
No, not at all. It's funny that you would say that because I was wondering in the midst of honestly mid 2023 up until WrestleMania, I was like, man, Seth kind of falling off. Like, is he just not working out? Like, is he no longer doing the hardcore? Like, what's happening? Because he usually looks a little bigger than that. Pause. But I was like, oh, okay. Oh, Seth Rollins is back in shape. Like he's really like the surgery and the rehab have instantly put him back in place where he needs to be. So that was honestly good to see because he started looking like a legend from 1987. And the 80s wrestling legend body in 1987 is a real thing.
Oh, say my man was out here looking like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yeah, man, you ain't got had no pecs in the 80s.
Yeah. Not Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Excuse me, he was out here looking like Jake the Snake.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was out here looking like $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. No definition, just there.
Yeah.
Niggas ain't had no definition trying to go up against Hulk Hogan. How? This nigga's 6'7", 303.
Yeah,
your ass
man.
don't look like you go to the bar.
Yeah.
You don't go to the gym, moves. You go to the bar and smoke squares and drink Strohs. And down Jack Daniels and be like, all right, wrestle Hulk Hogan tonight.
You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I'm officially petitioning right now. Hey, it's no more dad bod. You might not be a dad bod. You might be an 80s wrestling legend bod. You know what I'm saying? That might be
Yeah.
Your vibe selection.
Hey, let us stop because the last time we talked about anything in the 80s, a whole bunch of white people got mad at us about our Greg the Hammer Valentine. Well, your Greg the Hammer Valentine take.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, yo,
who
fuck
was in
y'all
shape?
and the Hammer. Got it.
Who was in shape? He was like a rock, but he was in shape of a rock, like a real solid rock. He wasn't out there, you know. He wasn't 6'5" and slender and no definition at all. Like you know,
he was the type of rock that you like used to draw the face on with the googly eyes.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Be your pet rock for the day. You'd be like, oh, here's my rhinoceros rock. I call it Greg Valentine.
Yeah, niggas, no, they still mad at us about it. We still get comments every once in a while about our Greg the Hammer Valentine take. It's wild that has stood the test of time. People are mad about a take around Greg the Hammer Valentine. I did not know that many people loved Greg the Hammer Valentine, but
we would have did that years ago had we knew.
Oh yeah, we did that shit years ago.
That was the one.
Like Greg the Hammer
I was
Valentine.
Double down in August of 2017. Like, hey,
yeah,
fuck Greg.
Greg the Hammer Valentine triggered y'all. Like, oh wow, you know. Can't wait to let y'all know what I think about Hercules before Power and Glory. Hercules was a waste of space. Like, what was Hercules there for? Like the one thing I learned about the 80s WWE every time I watch it is y'all got a whole bunch of matches for nothing. Like, why do we need to see Hercules in blue tights as a face?
Because he had the chain like, the music.
Right, like, don't y'all feel it's weird that the $1 Million Man called Hercules Hernandez a slave?
Hey,
it's like they was like, look, we not gonna do this shit with Virgil, y'all. We will get backlash. But Hercules, you a slave. Like, y'all don't look at that funny.
See, the thing is though, remember when they did that, they dropped the Hernandez. So you really had to be from the era prior to know, because I always thought Hercules was just a white male, potentially from the Midwest.
What?
and when he wasn't, I was like, just like you just said, I was like, yo, so they just made a Latin person a slave on wrestling. I was like, oh my God.
But his last name is Fernandez. So he probably is. He from New York too.
Right.
A dude with Fernandez in New York means something.
Man, listen. I was just like, yo, this is a wild storyline. To the fact that he is something other than white and they're doing this. This is crazy.
We are gonna have to do an episode on wildest storylines of all time.
Oh, man.
And I'm sorry, Hercules Hernandez being sold and bought, and now becomes $1 Million Man's slave, and now he breaks the bondage of chains. When did Hercules Hernandez become a key central figure of Roots? Like, when did that happen? When did that happen? Somebody, none of these guys, for the exception of the $1 Million Man, is around to explain this, but somebody's gonna have to explain why Hercules Hernandez was the slave.
Yeah.
And it does make hella sense if he's the person with the chain and he's throwing around the chain. So now he is sold by Bobby the Brain Heenan to the $1 Million Man, and now he's the $1 Million Man's slave because he ain't got Virgil.
Yeah, hey. And that, even the undertone of that story is wild because it's like, yo, I lost Virgil. So now I need a slave. Now I'm just gonna go all the way with it. Now I need a slave. I don't need a valet. I don't need a bodyguard.
No, excuse me. Matter of fact, no. You know what? No, my bad. I believe that Virgil was there with him.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
I got it, man. You're gonna make me dig in the archives.
I believe so. If my memory serves me correctly, Hercules was a slave. I don't know. Just something to think about, but that is one of the wilder storylines of how, that man can be a slave. Like, why are we buying people and everything like in this way?
Why are we buying people?
Why is we buying people in this way? This is wild.
Yeah.
No, yes, no, I was right. No. No. I was right. I had to remember it. Step back. But yes, Bobby the Brain Heenan sold Hercules to the $1 Million Man while Virgil was with him, and he made Hercules a slave.
Hey.
So he had a manservant and a slave.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
What a time.
This is one of the instances where we gotta be like, yo, at least they didn't want to incite black people that much. Because they already building their black relationships now. So, yo.
Somebody's gonna have to do an episode. Hey, Bruce Pritchard, you're gonna have to do an episode and explain this specific storyline.
Yeah, man.
Of why we thought it was great to make him a slave, so the $1 Million Man can have a Hispanic slave and a black manservant.
Yeah, man. And you know, even though they never billed him from that, Ted DiBiase's from Mississippi too, so that also make it a little crazy. That also make it a little crazy. They never billed him from Mississippi.
It's from Vero Beach, Florida. His summer residence or his fall residence was Vero Beach, Florida, I think it was.
Because something about the $1 Million, like, hailing from Jackson, Mississippi, weighing in at 232 pounds with his bodyguard Virgil and his slave Hercules, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. First of all, our entire life, Mississippi has been the poorest state.
Wait a minute.
In the U.S.
Okay, now it's coming back to me. Because if I remember this correctly, Ted DiBiase made Virgil wrestle Hercules for Hercules' freedom. This is a nasty storyline. Hey, this is a nasty storyline.
Wow.
You had the two minorities wrestling each other for one of them's freedom. And when he lost that battle, the dude with the summer residence in Florida, or the winter residence in Florida, got mad at the manservant. And I don't want Keith, I'm not going to say it. Keith, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say what the manservant means in this case.
Yeah, no, but it definitely the true manservant. Yeah, it's absolutely what it meant. Hey, it took Roddy Piper. Hey, listen to the Roddy Piper Ted DiBiase vignettes and segments again. Like, listen to them now, and listen to how Roddy Piper is asking Virgil in the nicest FCC regulated way. Hey, yo, are you a house nigga? Aren't you his slave? Don't you work in the house for massa? He's basically asking him this. And Stockholm syndrome is kicking in Virgil's mind as he's telling the story. And listen, we're not gonna go down the rabbit hole here, but listen, just watch it again. Watch it with your 2024 mind. Watch that. Watch the Hercules thing, then watch the Roddy Piper DiBiase thing with Virgil. It's gonna sound nuts. It's gonna sound nuts. That's all I got.
We definitely went on a deep ass tangent here.
Yeah.
When it comes to this, but yeah, maybe next episode we're doing nasty storylines.
Yeah,
because the fact that a white man had a black man and Hispanic man wrestle for the Hispanic man's freedom.
Listen. And
the Hispanic man won, so the white man got mad at the black dude.
Yeah.
My bad. Felt like that he was a waste of space. That was the $1 Million Man Hercules Virgil storyline. The fact that storyline led to Virgil's departure Like it started to where we ended up getting to the Dustin Rhodes piece. It's nasty. We're going to have a conversation about that next week. All right, fuck it. It's going to happen next week. All right, CM Punk. Let's get back to CM Punk, though.
Mm-hmm.
So CM Punk pissed 2 people off.
Yeah.
Pissed 2 people off. So we've said on this show multiple times in the past couple of weeks that CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre is the hottest feud in the WWE. We have also said it's the most anticipated match of SummerSlam when they finally get these two together in the ring. But now you add Swole Seth Rollins. Swole Seth freaking Rollins. This now, to me, has potential to be match of the year in the WWE. This now reaches a pitch that I wasn't expecting. Totally forgot about the CM Punk Seth Rollins hate because that's how good the Drew McIntyre CM Punk hate has been. But now you got 2 people hating CM Punk and wanting to kill him. What should Triple H do at SummerSlam when it comes to these 3 wrestlers? Should we get a triple threat match? Or, like, what should we get here?
I absolutely do not want a triple threat match because I sincerely think that it's just better to book CM Punk out for the rest of the year. Because, look, Seth Rollins should take this opportunity for spot dates and chill. Because the greater we have him at 100% health and ready for all the PLEs, the better. When I see Seth Rollins versus anybody for any world title, I think, oh, Seth got to get that. Or it's a 50-50, like, oh, who knows what's going to happen. I think now it's time to, one, take Seth's story off of wanting the world title because they remember that story for about 2 or 3 years. Now it's time for Seth Rollins to have a real adversary. And with that, let's wrap up this Punk Drew thing, because now what that told me last night, Bang, is that the real ending of Drew and Punk should not be WrestleMania, because there's a bigger match with Punk hate that's slated for WrestleMania. So now, since neither one of them are wrestling for the title, let's get CM Punk, Drew McIntyre done by Survivor Series. And then maybe a quick little dance at the Royal Rumble, maybe. And then leave everything Royal Rumble to WrestleMania for Seth freaking Rollins versus CM Punk. Because that is the one that we want to see for no reason at all other than, hey, I hate you in real life, and we need one of those moments at WrestleMania. Since I don't think Matt Hardy and Jeff, sorry, and Edge were able to accomplish that at WrestleMania. I know they had like
welcome to the Indies, bitch. Go back to the Indies, bitch.
You know what I'm saying?
That was hard.
Big
I
boot.
just want to let you know. That was hard. That's still one of the one of my favorite moments. You're like, well, go back to the Indies, bitch. Yeah. Like, damn, that hurts. Man, I can't believe we disagreeing again. This don't happen often, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Last night, that was my look. CM Punk getting cussed out by Seth Rollins was one of my favorite moments of the night last night. That was one of my, because it's legit hate. Like in this case, like it is personal, it is professional relationship, but personal hate. And I felt him when he was like, yo, I told you to stay out my shit. Stay out my business. And here you go. I could have been the world heavyweight champion again. Now I can't even get a shot. So if I can't get a shot, I'm not about to fight goddamn Sami Zayn for this Intercontinental belt. I don't want that shit. I want the motherfucker I made. And you messed me up with the shit, CM Punk. I'm gonna fuck you up. I want to see Drew McIntyre get mad at Seth and vice versa for wanting to be the person that puts CM Punk out permanently, which leads to them fighting, which leads to all three of them fighting. I want this feud to go on for the rest of the year because Gunther is going to beat Damian Priest at SummerSlam. Like, you go cancel Damian Priest, you go ahead and cancel all that shit now. So because of that, I need these guys to wrestle. I need these guys to fight. Now, one of them can take the belt off of Gunther. I don't want that to happen. I want Jey Uso versus Gunther at WrestleMania. Let me just throw that out there now. I want those two at WrestleMania for the belt, Jey Uso going over. But I want these three dudes to just be wrestling each other to the point where shit, y'all can make this motherfucker loser leaves town match. You can make this any stipulation match when it's time to make the stipulations. But I have never seen these three guys who hate each other so much. Drew McIntyre takes the belt off of Seth freaking Rollins at WrestleMania. CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre the title at WrestleMania. CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre and Seth freaking Rollins the title at Money in the Bank. Everything revolves around CM Punk cost a nigga shit.
Yeah.
Now it's time for y'all to whoop his ass. But then CM Punk is steadily outsmarting y'all. That's why I feel like should happen. I, for one, can't wait. Because when you put somebody from Chicago against a wall, they beat y'all ass. So CM Punk, good luck. Because I kind of, you know what I want to happen, Camp? I just thought about this. I just thought about this, Camp. Wrestling gods, TKO, NFL, make this happen. I need CM Punk and Seth Rollins to see each other at a Bears game and fight. Do it. That's what I need. I need the 2024 season to start off with a visit from CM Punk and Seth Rollins, and WWE cameras follow them around and they fight like AJ Styles and LA Knight did before WrestleMania. We need that. Triple H.
Yeah, that would be fire.
Ari, you got Chicago ties, my G. Make Kevin Warren from the Bears. Virginia, if you still here, let's make this happen. We need to see a fight between Seth Rollins and CM Punk at Soldier Field before the Bears game. Make it happen.
Hey, I like that.
Woo! Let's move on, man. Let's move on because I'm so excited thinking about that. Pause. Tiffany Stratton, as you said, the good money was on Tiffany Stratton, defeating Chelsea Green, Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, Naomi, and Zoe Stark. We talked about this a little bit earlier with Zoe Stark and some of those bumps, those botches and stuff, damn near killing herself a couple of times. I picked Chelsea Green and you picked Chelsea Green. She was the last person to touch the briefcase before Tiffany Stratton won. When those tables start putting up, I had text the tag team champs, the first black tag team champions, A Plus and DJ Nails, and I said to them, well, the stunt woman is going to fall on the tables at the end of the match. For those who don't know, Chelsea Green is also a stunt woman. So who was going to take that bump? Chelsea Green ass. And Tiffany Stratton is the new Money in the Bank woman on the women's side. I forgot who asked the question at the scrum. but they asked if Tiffany Stratton would go over on her friend Nia Jax at SummerSlam if she wins the belt. And Tiffany Stratton said that she's not going to put the stuff out there. You just got to wait and see. But Tiffany Stratton, Tiffy in the bank. It is Tiffy time. I expect to see a pink Money in the Bank briefcase all bedazzled out and stuff. What do you think about the match? What do you think about the winner?
This is twice that the women have had the hardest match at the PLE. To me, the streak started with Bayley versus Piper Niven, and now we hear again. Yes, that was a scary match. That was a scary match because, don't get me wrong, it was hard hitting, and that's part of it. But it got a little AEW-ish in there in a couple spots, and I mean, listen, hey, look, I'm here for the action too, but please, let's get off the concussion route. You know what I mean, and just do some things that make sense. Because, man, I'm literally with you. I was like, when Homegirl was on the ropes, I was like, is she not going to move that ladder?
Man.
Like, that's going to hurt. Like, that's going to hurt on accident. Like, why won't she just kick this ladder out the way and assure some safety here? But hey, listen, good match, not mad at the winner. Again, we told y'all, smart money on Tiffy time. And I think the scrum was whack for her specifically because they asked her a bunch of dumb questions. They asked her when she gonna cash in. It's like, yo, whenever she feel like it. She got till next July. So, but at this point in time, I think she's gonna build one of the best stories that we're gonna see to close out the year going into the top of 2025. I don't like everybody is so short-sighted. There's no reason for her to cash in on Nia Jax. There's no, like, she doesn't have to do anything they said. Shoot, she could cash in on Liv and take over Raw. Remember, there's no Rhea Ripley. There's no Bianca Belair over there. There's no Becky Lynch over there. Like, even though Liv is doing a really great job, there needs to be a woman that is a superstar on Raw, especially with this Netflix deal coming. So,
yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So with that, really good match, really dope match, a lot of spots. The girls get mad tough. They get mad tough. They get mad hard body out here, and they really showing their ass, and that's awesome to see. Chelsea Green, it was good. It was good that our pick was literally who the crowd really wanted, though. I do want to say that.
Yeah, that
like,
man.
So I was like, so we wasn't off. Like, that wasn't just a one-off over there in that qualifying match. Like, no, people really feel this way. I was like, okay, that. Like that. And then I realized she was from Canada, and I was like, okay, I'm probably wrong. And keep in mind, and look, I really didn't know she was from Canada. I didn't know that.
I mean, did you care?
I mean, only because I'm from the era where you get your ass beat in your hometown and you lose. Yeah. But still, though, like they've been trying to change that culture. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they've been giving Bret Hart passes out. So I respect that, too.
I don't mean to be that guy, but Chelsea Green could be from Las Cruces, New Mexico. She still got my vote.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
My vote.
They're just not going to do the PLE there. That's all.
They're just not going to do it. Has there ever been a PLE in Las Cruces, New Mexico, ladies and gentlemen? Somebody, where's Jonathan Hood at? We need to find that out. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I know Jonathan Hood got like the 5 greatest matches in Las Cruces, New Mexico history, like including the territory that used to be there. And I don't mean that as a joke. I'm dead ass serious. If there's anybody that has the mind of this happened in this town at this time, it's Jonathan Hood. Shouts out to our big homie Tanae right there.
Sure.
But you know what? On the flip side of it, I do think that when we look at and we ask the question, who was the standout last night? 2 people come to mind. It is Chelsea Green. I think she was a standout. Her acting of being afraid of heights and all of that stuff. That was definitely hilarious in the beginning, to the point where I assumed that Piper Niven was going to be the person that helps her get the briefcase. Like, it's set up for this. And we didn't see Piper. But Lear Valkyria.
Woo.
Yo, I see what y'all doing, WWE. I see the plan. I see what y'all doing. I get it last night. I really get it. Totally understand it. That girl's dope.
Yeah.
She's
for
dope.
Sure.
So,
for sure.
Hey man, let's get into the last match, and I'll kick it off. Hey, this was a disappointment to me. This ended in a way that I did not want it to end in this way. Like the Bloodline, we picked the Bloodline to go over. This is when we was like, yeah, we finally got one right.
Yeah,
so
right.
We picked it to go over. But it did not hit for not the reason people might think. It did not hit to me because the wrong person went over on Cody. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell y'all, I don't give a damn about Solo Sikoa. No. That match last night and the star of Money in the Bank, and if you watched it, the pre-show, the match, and the post-show, the star of last night was Jacob Fatu. They put Jacob Fatu over as a potential world champion last night during the pre-show. You let Big E tell it. We should be more scared of Jacob Fatu, and as long as Jacob Fatu is in the corner of Solo Sikoa, Solo will have a chance against Cody. But the way they kept positioning it is without Jacob Fatu, none of this shit's work. And then when you see him in the match, and he wasn't in there, he wasn't in the ring, let's say, for a long period of time here. Get in, get out, get in, get out. But then when the match started to hit its crescendo, it was turn-up time for Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu didn't take everybody's finisher. Solo did. When Solo needed help out there, Solo turned to Jacob Fatu. He didn't even turn to Tama. And Jacob Fatu, Lord, if he gets a microphone in his hand, he is going to eclipse Solo. The reason why I didn't like last night is only because last night, without trying, Jacob Fatu outshined Solo, and it was not even close to the point where if they said it was Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, I'm not mad. That's how good Jacob Fatu was last night. Yeah.
And he was that good, and I personally feel that he was underused last night. That was my gripe. It was like, okay, we got it right, but I'm like, all the energy is around what Solo's going to go in there and do. And I think that, we got some glimpses. We got some flashes of greatness, but they really should have let him get his shit off on somebody, even if it's just Randy Orton. Like, I agree with everything you said. And I guess maybe I'm just waiting for the moment where the spotlight is on Jacob. We know it. Now go do the things that made you get signed here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't get me wrong, from a wrestling psychology standpoint, I know he's proving it right now with what we've seen so far, but now we need the match. See, in the 80s, early 90s, there was always just that string of matches where the new start or the new talent or the superstar or the menace just got to get in the ring and just get busy. And then you'd be like, oh, okay, that's what's on the way here for somebody. And for, and for that to not happen in the 6-man tag, a little upset about that. But you're absolutely right. Jacob is the Bloodline storyline now. Everything else is just kind of happening around him. So we'll just see what happens next.
But I think, Camp, the reason why you can't let that happen, because as soon as you let that happen, Solo is out the picture. We don't care. Like, if you let him get busy, it is a wrap for anything Solo Sikoa. That's why we saw what we saw last night. Just his mannerisms, my G. Just how he performs and look at the camera and how much of a savage he feels like in that ring. The aura of Jacob Fatu eclipses Solo. And I like Solo. But the aura of Jacob Fatu is bigger than Solo. Yeah. To the point where he could go back to being the street champ. Yeah. The bloodline is scarier because of Jacob. It's not scarier because of what Solo built around him. Yeah. It's scary because of Jacob. It was at one point, and I believe it was Corey Graves that said, man, Tama Tonga is scary. Like, I know y'all talking about Jacob Fatu and everything. He's right, but it's not like Tama Tonga is sitting over there nothing.
Right.
That tells you everything.
Right.
You need to hear about Jacob Fatu. He eclipses everybody he's in the ring with. Let me ask you this. Based off of what you've seen the last 3 weeks, you more excited to see a Solo face down, my bad, pause. Whoa. Are you more excited to see a face-off between Solo and Roman Reigns, or a face-off between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns?
With just that scenario, definitely Jacob versus Roman Reigns. Definitely Jacob versus Roman Reigns. However, I also love the concept or the possibility of Jacob won the Roman Reigns. And it's like, yo, you know what? But I see what you did too, though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I get it.
And it's like, yo, you did like, hey, and his argument could be, yo, cause Solo ain't this. You know what I'm saying? If you put me where you put Solo at, you can't tell me it ain't getting handled.
Bruh.
Like, me, you, and Jay, that's really all we need.
Hey.
Like, yo, he got to talking like that. Oh, my God.
Fam, I was looking at that match, and I was just waiting for Jacob to get in. Like, go and put him in. And when he finally got in, all I heard was JR in my head. Business is about to pick up. And when Randy Orton gave him the DDT, and he got up, I said, oh, shit. And this is just being honest. This don't happen a lot. I've watched wrestling all my life. It does not happen a lot. It's happened a handful of times. The first time it happened is me seeing Sid Vicious in the Skyscrapers. I'm a big Skyscraper fan. So the first time I remember like seeing something and being like, oh shit, is the Skyscrapers. After that, it's the Undertaker's debut at Survivor Series. He had everybody scared and spooked. It was years after that. Goldberg does not come to mind like that for me.
No.
But I will put him in that conversation because of how he was built.
Yeah, for sure.
And the majority of those people were not like that outside of the WWE, which is, or outside of where they came from, at least at the time we were watching. If you are a wrestling fan, you know who Jacob Fatu is. And if you watched anything MLW, you said, that man crazy. If you saw anything Contra, you was like, yo, this shit right here is a little bit off. And I'm going to say it again. When the cameras are on you, you got to look at the camera in the first place to know and understand what you're about to get. MLW cameras, he was looking scary on that. How the hell you think he gonna look on WWE cameras? How you gonna them camera
8K,
angles? Right, the 8K, goddammit. How you think he gonna look in front of the WWE cameras? Hey, them cameras look different for everybody.
Yeah.
You look at Ethan Page. Ethan Page on WWE cameras look a lot different than he do on AEW cameras.
Yeah, man.
Some people it works different ways because Swerve looks better on these AEW cameras, but this Swerve, you put him in the WWE, oh man, he looks like what your shirt say, a black champ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jacob Fatu looks like a menace that could beat everybody ass and go on a Gunther type run with something. But I'll also say he don't need it. And this is the one thing that I'm really learning about these Samoans, fam. Some of them don't need no belt. Jay don't need no belt. Jacob is over with just being a henchman.
Yeah, for sure.
He's the skit. I'll even go to say this, and we could put a bow on the pay-per-view. Jacob Fatu might come in top 5 henchmen of all time. Not the main guy in the WWE, the henchman.
I got you.
When you think about the main guy, when you think of Ric Flair, Arn Anderson is the person that's going to catch the body. When you look at the NWO, there's Hulk Hogan. When you look at the NWO, it's Hulk Hogan. But Kevin Nash going to catch the body. When you look at Evolution, it's Triple H in the front of it. But Batista gonna catch the body.
Yeah.
There's the Bloodline. But Roman Reigns was the one that was catching the body. This Bloodline, Solo. But Jacob Fatu is the one who catching the body.
Yeah.
He's the one you need to be afraid of. And that's why, to me, last night, the pay-per-view ended on a soft note. Not because I was expecting Roman Reigns, because his dad's funeral was yesterday.
Yeah.
It's because when you look at that match, Solo got his ass beat. Jacob, on the other hand, whooped everybody's ass. And held the guy for you to do the move at and then win. And it kind of ended in a whimper.
Yeah.
The way that it ended, maybe the Samoan maybe the Samoan spike ain't the move you do in that.
Well, no, it's not. Like, I mean, come on, man. I mean, look, the Samoan spike outside of Umaga, we're not counting Umaga in this. So outside of the Umaga run, until Solo did a homicide spiking of John Cena, I was like, it's only so much that this is going to work. Like, you need to develop a splash or something. You need to like it's just because the thing is, we've seen the spike so much, and don't get me wrong, it's been a protected finisher, so that means something. But again, man, Solo is just not the toughest dude when we break everything down. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just breaking down that way. He's how he was built from, what was that, Saudi Mania 5 up until right now, is just changed. And now he needs to do something more powerful, more destructive to kind of stay in the race here. Because the spike, although it's effective, it's more about the person giving you the spike. It's just like, there have always been power bombs, but when Vader did the power bomb, people start breaking their backs and dying. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm laughing, but nigga did get paralyzed.
It's like, look, to this day, what's more destructive, the Batista bomb or the Vader bomb?
I'll say the Vader bomb.
The jackknife or the Vader bomb?
I'd say the Vader bomb.
The Sid Vicious power bomb versus the Vader bomb.
I'd say the Vader bomb.
And that one's actually close. But them other ones, not even close. And that's the difference. But the thing is, when he come out and he was the Mastodon and the damn helmet is smoking and he's just sitting in front of it. And it was like, oh my God. And then he started beating you up in the corner. And then after he's beat the shit out you for 7 minutes, now here comes the power bomb. It's like, oh my God, I don't get a break. But with Solo he has a lot of just traditional Samoan moves. And it's not that those are bad, but he's just like, he's not winning us over with the move set in general. Right. The two things that I remember him doing vividly are the Samoan drop, the run into you in the corner thing, because that's what they do. I don't mean that like racially.
With the hip.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The hip check, I guess. Because I'm not calling it backing that ass up. I'm not doing that. And the Samoan spike. And it's just like, bro, you need something else. Like, you need to incorporate some other things in your repertoire so we can be afraid of you again. Because reality has set in and it's scarier people around you.
Yeah, so it's very interesting to see what's going to happen with the Bloodline. But it looks like SummerSlam is about set. When we look at what's going to happen on August 3rd, we have Gunther versus Damian Priest set. Looks like since Cody took that pin, he's going to be wrestling against Solo. I will say that the United States Championship match is set too. Logan Paul versus LA Knight. Yeah. I think we're probably going to get a return match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay.
So that's there.
Because they underestimated talk and all that.
Yeah, all of that stuff there. But then the scrum. Let's go back to the scrum a little bit and going into what it feels like is going to be a triple threat match, or maybe Drew McIntyre gets suspended because Adam Pearce caught an elbow.
Yeah. hey, Scrap Daddy showed up last night.
Yeah. Scrap
Daddy showed up like, hey man, who the fuck you think you
Oh.
Yeah. Hey,
I was like, we about to get a match.
We're talking about breaking kayfabe real quick. Scrap Daddy showing up with that blue blazer on.
Right. Hey, I will. I for 5 seconds was like, "Yo, we're about to get Adam Pearce versus Drew McIntyre."
Hey, right. Hey, listen.
Because Drew McIntyre. Hey, Adam Pearce. If you heard anything from Adam Pearce last night, he like, Drew McIntyre, I am tired of your shit.
Hey, that's three.
So maybe we get CM. Right. So maybe we get CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and Scrap Daddy versus Drew McIntyre. I don't know. But that's the one thing I got out of last night. Hey, fam, I am tired of your shit.
Yeah, man. He was like, hey, look. Yeah. Hey, but that was the time of your shit. Like, no, I'm about to lace up now.
Yeah, now I got to put this robe on and fight you because you elbowed me in the face. But let me ask you about these scrums. Now, I will say last night, I think it's Lee Fitting, who formerly worked at ESPN, who now takes care of like the WWE's programming and stuff. Best hire in the last couple of years for the WWE, not a wrestler. Okay. Because their TV looks so good. The TV looks better now. And just the presentation of it, even before you got to the scrum, all of the after the event stuff that happened, the Drew McIntyre stuff, even again, Jackie Redmond was like, yo, Jacob Fatu, what you think about him? My man, acknowledge me.
Yeah.
Like, all of that stuff. It really felt like a true sporting event.
Yeah.
And then to get to the scrum. Are you a fan of these scrums? Or should they just scrap these shits because these are just people that you putting up in there to ask the questions that you want to ask, except for the nigga who asked the Vince McMahon question.
Yeah, right. That was the only reason
That was
why to consider it, right?
I'm like, oh.
But no, hey, listen, man. See, this is the part of wrestling I'm not into. I don't jig with the scrums. I thought it was a waste of time. I thought a lot of people asked stupid questions. I think a lot of people asked the same question 3 times.
They did
just for their outlet. I don't fuck with that. It's like how it makes me question how long people have been actually watching wrestling, and why there was no just tie-in of like career. Unfortunately, because I don't watch a lot of NBA or NFL press conferences. I don't like it. Hey, do you think that you guys lost the match, or do you think that or they won the match? Shut the fuck up talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like dumb questions. I don't like dumb questions. I don't like yes or no questions that are not answered yes or no. I don't like a lot of things. but no, to me, for the scrum, to be honest, I would rather wrestlers just cut another promo. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think, just give John Cena the 5 minutes out in Toronto to answer the questions that everybody really wants to know. Like, you know what I mean? None of that, none of it was fire to me. None of it. I'm sorry. CM Punk and John Cena are them, so they're going to make it worthwhile. But other than that, man, they could scrap it or remix it, and I'd be here for that.
So I am not a fan of the scrum unless it advances storylines. Anything that advances storyline works. Mm-hmm. But just getting people up in there to ask random ass questions like it is the end of a NFL game, like it is the end of the Super Bowl, I am not for unless it advances the storyline. Yeah. Like New Japan, after a match, they'll go and they'll do the little press conference thing, and it seems real. It's like you've seen people get their ass beat, you've seen people get cussed out, you've seen people get hit with belts and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't need Tiffany Stratton to sit down and give her strategy about how she's going to win the women's world championship on either brand and how she's going to cash in. The John Cena thing. The John Cena thing, getting to know what is going to be the final leg of his career, and that's what we're going to go to next. Mm-hmm. That I understand as long as you're not asking the same questions. But that I understand because that's really going to be your only chance to really have a conversation with him about what's next instead of reading it in a dirt sheet or reading it on ESPN. I understand that. But anything else after that, if that shit ain't involving a storyline, I don't want to hear it. Now, I do think it's great for the people in the scrum. Because when it comes to wrestling journalism, which I don't necessarily think there's like wrestling journalism, like it's like comic book journalism to me. Like it's like
yeah, for sure.
It's like
you're right.
It's like Erica Kane holding a press conference after an episode of one of All My Children, or Vicky Buchanan holding a press conference at the end of One Life to Live. So Erica, you was divorcing Adam Chandler, but he saved your life and you changed your mind. What went into that thought?
It's like, yo, come on, like, well, how about you just watch tomorrow?
Yeah, watch tomorrow. You'll find out. There you go. That's it. That's the scrum. But again, for a John Cena type situation, I totally get that and I understand that. But if you're going to be planting questions or asking them what they're going to ask and all of that stuff, then nah. Now I loved the Vince McMahon question because that's when it did not feel like a scrum. Yeah. That's when it felt like, all right, we weren't prepared for that question. Who let this motherfucker in?
Yeah.
Who let this motherfucker in? We weren't prepared for this. Listen. And I think, and John Cena answered it amazing because he's experienced.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Hey, listen, the fact that John Cena saluted him for his courage, that was almost like a, hey, bro, how did you even get in here?
You got balls.
Right. Yeah, super balls.
A whole bunch of wrestlers about to whoop your ass in the back.
Right. You know balls. What I'm saying? Like, I was like, dog, like, talk about reading the room and being like, I don't care if he made the room. I need to know this. Hey, but see, if we gonna do that, if we gonna have the people that's really about it, and I mean really about just wrestling allure, wrestling culture, wrestling information. Not the people that have become wrestling fans since Twitter been out and they see it as a money-making opportunity. Not the people that want tickets to Wale Mania and all that. I'm talking about the people that really watch wrestling and that really know who Vince McMahon is. And they not here because of cancel culture and what the police reports say and all of that and the affidavits. I'm talking about the people that know who Vince McMahon is in relation to WrestleMania, why John Cena is John Cena because of what Vince McMahon did, because he lost Steve Austin. Like I need people in there like that so they can ask those kind of questions, because then now we having a real scrum. Because to me, there's no way you can get a scrum off in the WWE right now without Vince McMahon questions. It just should happen because, hey, it's still his company. I don't care what nobody say. And it don't matter the role. It's like, yo, he built this house and then he sold it for equity. Like, that's how I look at it now. So I love that moment. John Cena is the man. I fear anybody else that answers that question or is tasked with answering a question like that. Because you know they got him out of here once CM Punk showed up. You know they got him out of there.
Oh, you.
He's like, hey, bro.
You gotta go.
Hey, homie. You follow me?
Follow me. Let me take that pass off of you, fam.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like, hey, bro.
Sure
real quick, you want to just come over here, please?
Make sure you get all of his information. You're banned. You're not to come to any WWE events as a press. You can buy tickets, but you will not be allowed to come as press. We told you to ask John Cena about what he feels like the match that will be the one that everybody talks about in his career, his magnum opus. You asked the Vince McMahon question. That's not what we asked you to do, and because of that, we're going to take your press passes. You can buy a ticket as a fan, but you will no longer be allowed to be press at events. Thank you, and thank you, and continue to watch the product. We appreciate you. Thank you. Have a nice day.
That's it. yeah. Hey, absolutely.
That's what they did. Like, fucking ass. Definitely get him out of here before Paul gets here.
Man,
all right, let's talk about John Cena now. John Cena announces his retirement. He says that 2025 will be his last year as a performer in the WWE. It does not end at WrestleMania. It will not be a Ric Flair curtain call here, but it will go throughout the year, apparently. So, man, first of all, first thing I text out when that happened was damn, we getting old when John Cena retiring.
Facts.
Damn,
Facts.
We up there. We up there, fam. But we remember John Cena's first day in the WWE, and we're gonna see his last day as a wrestler in the WWE. It was very interesting hearing him say that he is gonna be a part of it. My prediction is he's going to join The Rock on the board of directors for the WWE. I think he deserves it. He is one of the biggest stars in the world. So that's what you want in these situations. So he's still going to be around. He's not going to leave the product, but he will not be donning the jorts. As he said, as they are coming back in style, I will not be donning the jorts after 2025. So what was your thoughts on the surprise last night being the retirement of the retirement announcement of John Cena?
Well, first thing is, like, you know what? I know it may seem maybe like out of the way, but I always read John Cena's towel. Like, no matter what, when I read the towel, it's like, okay, that's what we own. We own hustle, loyalty, and respect. We never give up. Okay, boom, 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 like whatever it is, like, and it kind of tells you the story that's about to be told. So when it said the last time is now, I was like, oh shit, my man's out of here. I was like, wow. So, and then he come out, he do his thing or whatever, and I'm like, wow, man. Just like you were saying, John Cena retiring. And I love the fact that, one, I can read plays, right? What I love about this in a lot of different ways is John Cena already put out there, like, yo, this is it for me. But hey, yo, this is my last Royal Rumble. This is my last Elimination Chamber. This is my last WrestleMania. Because you know them tickets them tickets about to look like NVIDIA stock prices. Like that shit is up 200%. You can bank it. Like, so I was like, oh, I see the play now. And then, you know, he already know the dates. Like, he already know where he about to be while doing the movies and everything else. I seen the new commercial too. He getting real bread out here. And I was like, man, like, this is cool. They're treating, they're giving John Cena like Cal Ripken or A-Rod treatment or Kobe treatment. You know what I mean? Like, he's in that era. It's like, yo, bro, like, most likely you started watching wrestling when John Cena was just getting in here and was just about to do his thing. So now the last 2 decades have been him just being him. And so now let's celebrate him on the way out. And I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome to do. I love this angle versus a lot of the other retirement stories that have gotten told over the last, should I say, decade. There's not too many retirement stories I love, to be real with you. And then again, it's a lot of people that didn't really get a chance to retire. VKM just said, "You're done here, son."
Well,
And
Bret Hart probably was pissed last night watching this shit.
Hey, in Toronto too.
John Cena get to announce his retirement in Toronto, and I'm sitting here being who I am because Bill Goldberg kicked me in the head, bitch.
Hey, I love the fact you said Bill Goldberg too.
Bill Goldberg.
Yeah, it's
bitch.
Bill Goldberg because shout out to Bret Hart. Right. Yeah, man. But no, just on the announcement, it's bittersweet, but at the same time, it is time. It is time because, you know, I like to see certain wrestlers at a certain level. And when that level don't seem like it could be achievable based upon the appearance, I'd rather you bow out gracefully and make some other shit happen. And that's kind of how I feel about John Cena. Keep the legacy intact. Keep the greatest moments intact. I love the fact that he sounded like, yo, I'm cool and we at peace with this. Like, it ain't like an Edge situation where, yo, I got a lot more left in the tank and I just can't do it, you know. But so this is good, and I'm very curious, especially with the TKO Endeavor being over this, how this looks, because this potentially for me could change how wrestlers retire forever.
Yeah, I believe that with TKO, this is going to feel different, this retirement. Now, what this looks like remains to be seen, but it's going to feel different. And I think there's a lot of questions about this, and that's why I believe that John Cena is going to have the best wrestling retirement of all time. Because there's something that's hanging over John Cena's head. And if with Vince McMahon in play, I think you could get away with it. But with TKO and wanting to have moments, it's very interesting. Mm-hmm. Especially since there are 2 world titles now. Mm-hmm. One thing I didn't hear in the scrum, maybe I missed it, I got kids, is if John Cena is going to go for title 17.
It was alluded to.
It was alluded to. Right.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
I want to see if this is going to be a situation where John Cena can potentially get title 17. It would be big for his legacy. It would be big for TKO. It would be big for the WWE and what the WWE wants to go after and what TKO wants to go after. It would be major. I don't want to see CM Punk go on the Kurt Angle retirement run when he's just wrestling random ass people. I don't
Right.
want I don't want his retirement to be like Ric Flair's, which right now is the greatest retirement of all time, because I mean, this is a situation where he had one of the most iconic moments in WrestleMania history. This gonna go past WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see if he is going to go after the title, which will be on the platform that will be debuting in January. John Cena, World Champion, Netflix sounds very good when it comes to not ratings, streams.
Listen. Now it's time for my guarantee. All right. My guarantee is that John Cena will absolutely hold the World Heavyweight Championship that resides on Raw. Why? Because, again, I respect the play. I respect the play that's going on. John Cena let us know that there was 4 places he definitely will be. The Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, and the first Raw on Netflix. John Cena's name is big enough to be all those places right now. John Cena as the World Heavyweight Champion boosts ticket sales and subscriptions. So listen. And it's going to make sense because look who's fighting over the title right now.
Hey, let me stop you and add to your guarantee.
Let's go.
Because even though I was talking that shit about Jey Uso earlier in the show, my guarantee is that John Cena will defeat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 41.
Yo. Hey, listen. Not only do I feel that could happen, I think that there's a couple things because John Cena was very elusive about what he wanted. But you also can't tell me that John Cena's true last match isn't World Heavyweight Champion John Cena versus Randy Orton for the title, and he get him to 15 while he's at 16. And then that sets Randy Orton up to be 16, 17 because Flair has always said John Cena's better than me, and John has already said Randy Orton's better than me. So I could see him clearing the runway and be like, hey, yo, bro, here, look, here's 15. Go get 2 more because you got it in you. I don't. And I see that happening also. He's giving us the whole year. But I think it starts tomorrow. I want to be clear on that. I don't think this is the last time I think we see John Cena 6 more times before this year is up. I'm just throwing it out there.
Either way it go, what you said earlier, this is not about ratings no more. This is about streams.
Mm-hmm.
This is about subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
This is about the amount of people that's going to have to purchase a Netflix account subscription in order to watch Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And to stream it, not just live, but restream it.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that John Cena is not going to get the championship in 2025. Because there's one thing to see John Cena on a retirement tour. But it's also another thing to see John Cena break a long-standing record.
Mm-hmm.
Even though technically you can say that there were more title reigns than that.
Mm-hmm.
the title reign that's out there, the numbers is what, 16?
16.
Ric Flair. John Cena's where?
16. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, 16.
16.
You can't tell me that John Cena's not going to win it. It's about who he's going to defeat. It's got to be Gunther. It's got to be the most dominant champion of this decade.
That also lost to Sami Zayn.
Yeah. So there's a track record of the underdog beating him in this. So purchase your subscriptions, y'all, and get ready for John Cena versus Gunther. John Cena's not going to win a Royal Rumble.
No.
He's going to get thrown out. He might be the second to last person. You're going to see him on the ground. His hands is going to be on his legs. He's going to be like, damn, frustrated. And then he's going to go on Raw on Netflix and be like, fuck all that, I want Gunther. And I'll do whatever I got to do to get Gunther at WrestleMania. They're going to put him through a gauntlet. He's going to win because he's John Cena. And then at WrestleMania in Las Vegas, it's going to be Gunther versus John Cena for the World Heavyweight Championship. And John Cena's going to win it. And he's going to break that record. And he's going to say, hey, I told y'all I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere, fam. I'm around.
Yeah.
So then you're going to get the John Cena challenge shit again.
Yeah.
John Cena is going to be in the driver's seat of his retirement. Not reactive, but proactive. Mm-hmm. He already got the shit lined up because it's already been approved. John Cena is exercising his rock. If you looked at that documentary on the WrestleMania, he's exercising his rock claws.
Yeah.
And if The Rock can do this, shit, I can too.
Facts. Cause shit, I'm John Cena, and I was around way longer.
Man.
Like, I was around way longer.
So get ready, man. John Cena's retirement is slotted right next to the debut of Raw on Netflix.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to make sure that the needle is moved. Now, one thing we didn't talk about is that Triple H said that there's going to be no qualms about moving on from PG-13. So I didn't get a chance to ask you this because we've been talking about everything else. Mm-hmm. But I'll ask you now. With Raw going to Netflix in 2025 and Triple H saying that which signals the end of the PG era, how do you want to see Raw presented on Netflix?
Man, listen, well, Raw already got Liv Morgan sitting on meat in the ramp. So I'm already here for the uptick, right? I'm already here for that. So with that being said, I think there is a fine line. Like, let's not get too over the top, you know what I'm saying? Because we own Netflix. Like, I don't need to hear the words dick and pussy, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need
suck my dick. You don't need
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need that. It's still wrestling. Let's still be creative. We could get a little more violent. You know, honestly, man, I just want wrestling to go back to being hard-hitting and unpredictable. That's it. You know what? I'll simplify it just by saying that. So no matter what storyline, no matter what hour, no matter what entertainer, sports entertainer, athlete, whoever it is, I just want wrestling to go back to being hard-hitting and unpredictable.
Yeah, I need the blood.
Netflix is going to give us that, then I'm all aboard for it.
I need to see blood. That's it. Just Blade. Oh, I need to see that. I don't need no AEW style cussing. I don't need people saying shit just to say shit or bitch just to say bitch. If it just comes out, that's great. If it's natural, I don't need no promo where somebody you gotta cuss. It's gonna be like, ooh, like I don't need that. Yeah. But I do need blood. I need color. And if Netflix is going to give us that, then I'm with it. Outside of that, I don't care. I don't need to see hot lesbian action. That's what Pornhub is for.
For sure.
I don't need to see. I don't need to see. No bra and panties matches. We're over that.
Yeah.
I don't need to see none of those things. Just give me the product the way it stands right now, but give me color. I don't need to see somebody get hit over the head with a chair to get that done either.
Yeah.
We're at a safe point in wrestling, but I do think like situations like when The Rock whooped Cody Rhodes' ass, if he would have whooped Cody Rhodes' ass and there was no blood, it would make no sense.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You know, and there's some ass whoopings that you see that will make more sense if it has some color. So just give me color. Don't just give me cussing just to give it to me, and stay away from the bra and panties matches, hot lesbian action, and what's that? The sex celebration stuff. I don't need all that. I'm good.
Now, but if you are going to link out to an OnlyFans link or something like that, or just to the X account, because you can do that now, that's cool too. I'm willing to sign up for a subscription for a select few of women that are into, that are in the Ice Cream Hall of Fame, the Ice Cream Bar Hall of Fame for the First Black Champ podcast. So, if we're going to do that, link us off. I might do a subscription for a month or two, you know what I'm saying? And we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, other than that, man, it's no need for extreme changes just because it's on Netflix. I think, the product as designed has proven for over 30 years that it's good enough. So just keep improving off of what definitely works if nothing else works. And that is just great wrestling content, conversation, matches, stories.
Now, I will say this. Now that we are in this world, there's going to be more conversations about who was the greatest of all time in this era. So I think as we get closer to the end of the USA Network era, I think conversations around who was the greatest of all time in this era is going to reach a fever pitch. I think there's only two names that we can even bring up, and that's John Cena and Roman Reigns. In this era, in this PG-13 era, I think there's only two names that need to be discussed: John Cena and Roman Reigns. And even interested to see if these two clash again, how it looks. But before we go, give me your top 5 wrestlers that you would like John Cena to wrestle in his farewell, his Kobe farewell tour. Matter of fact, nah, my bad. Dumbass question the way that it was presented. Who are the 5 people you would like to see go over on John Cena in his farewell tour?
Go over. Okay. Randy Orton. I think that's important for everybody that's been watching since the beginning. Braun Breaker. I think it serves him a couple of stats that I think that he will just earn in a world that's out of megastars and that's out of just like, those game-changing impact players, you know what I'm saying? And I also feel that, like Scott Sanderson went over on Hulk Hogan in WCW. I just feel like it should have happened. So Braun Breaker should go over on John Cena because it's just that time. It should happen. Let me see. Going over on John Cena, I would probably also I'll probably throw Kevin Owens on there again. Because it was such a shock that first night on Raw. Great Raw moment, if you're asking me. One of the greatest, especially of that year, for sure. You know what? Going over on John Cena, man, I think they've made it such the thing to do that that's a short list. If I got it there, that would be it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Even though we're saying what we're saying, Gunther going over on John Cena, I like that as well. To definitely make 4, and I don't know, honestly, man. Even just where everything is, I don't think 5 people deserve to go over on John Cena in his final year. And the only other person that would make sense that don't need it is Jacob Fatu. Like, he don't need it. Sami Zayn don't need it. Austin Theory should have never went over on him.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? So he need to get that back. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, it was hard to come up with 5, and honestly, I don't even like that 5 to keep it 100% real. I don't think that a lot of these guys should go over on John Cena. I don't care how old he is. I don't care what title they may be holding. I don't think John Cena should, like, this shouldn't be the year, honestly, based even how he was talking in the scrum. This should be the year where ain't nobody else getting over on John Cena because he about to do anything he can to win. and to remember to go out on top. And if he is going to lose a match, I want it to be the last match, and I want it to be against Randy Orton, and it's for the title. That's the only loss I want to see John Cena take if he's going to take an L. I want it to be Randy Orton for the title. That's the only one I want to see.
Gunther is number 1 on that list. He loses the belt to Gunther to give him his win back. Randy Orton, yeah, I want to see a John Cena Randy Orton series again, and Randy Orton should go over when it's time, and that's probably towards the end. I do want to see Jacob Fatu and John Cena though. I do. I'm sorry. I like to see fear in these people. And let's be clear, go over doesn't necessarily mean win to me. Go over also means to have a standout match to put somebody over.
For sure.
Going over and putting over to me are the same things, ladies and gentlemen. But even still, they should get a win off of it, no matter if it's a count out, disqualification, or anything like that. So those are the 3 names that stand out right now: Gunther, Jacob Fatu, and Randy Orton. If I were to throw 2 other names on it, just thinking about people who are on the come up and definitely have a chance, Braun Breaker, John Cena feud would be lightning in a bottle. So that's my 4th person right there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
One more person I want to throw in the conversation because of what happened earlier in the year, or last year, I think it was. Trick Williams. John Cena. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Solidify my pick for the year, John. Let's go.
Man, and the 5th person, and just thinking about all of these wrestlers and stuff like that, not gonna lie, Bo Dallas.
Not mad at
There
it.
needs to be some type of finish to the Firefly Funhouse thing with him, or just the Wyatts in general, and John Cena. So I wouldn't mind seeing Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy, however they want to position it, Taylor Rotunda. I wouldn't mind seeing some type of closure there as well. So those are my top 5 people that should go over on John Cena throughout this retirement tour, because it started yesterday and it ends apparently December 1st, 2025. So excited to see that. I know he's going to say fuck Johnny Wrestling at the end of this, but I just want to give you a chance now. Would you like to say anything about your new SmackDown Tag Team Champions?
Well, the very first thing is that they're not my, SmackDown World Heavyweight Champions. Everything that you may think or know about me in life, ladies and gentlemen, most likely is real. And the one thing I won't be is a hater. It's just not in me.
He's just a racist against European wrestlers.
Well, no, because look how I put over Drew McIntyre today. But I saw this happening. I saw it, and I accepted it. It is what it is. What I didn't expect and what I didn't accept was that I have a chat with somebody I call a friend, And he's sharing the link from every platform that's got it. Like, hey, J.R. Bang is a wild nigga, y'all. Hey, listen. Why fam? Send the link, right? I got to it late. We was traveling or whatever. So, I guess I gotta log in to see what this is. And in the midst of me logging in to see it, he just didn't even just unprompted throw the other link from the other social platform on there. So I was like, oh yo, this was it's fuck me again.
I just want to make sure you see it without logging in. That's all.
Hey man. Well, thank you for being, efficient, I guess. You know what I mean? Maybe I should have said, I'm going to log in now. Don't share it again. But, hey, listen, man. Tommaso Ciampa, man. Hey, listen, man. I wish you had better friends, homie, because I'm actually happy for you. You know what I mean? I'm actually happy for you. I'm glad that you got to the main roster and you got yourself a title on your hands, man. You've earned it. You deserve it. Fuck your homie. This ain't the first time I've said that to somebody I fuck with. Fuck your homie. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid of nobody. You dig? Hey, so I mean, there's that, man. Shout out to Tommaso Ciampa, man. Add to the list of greatness in your career, man. We're gonna leave it at that.
Okay, so since you're not gonna do what I am, man, I ain't like that shit. I'm sorry, I ain't like that shit, fam.
Hey, listen.
I just didn't like. I'm not a fan of this tag team. I'm a fan of them fighting each other. I'm not a fan of this tag team. Never been a fan of this tag team.
Nope.
I would have rather the Street Profits be the champ, not just because they black either. I would have rather the Street Profits been the champ. Shit, I'd rather Authors of Pain be the champ. Yeah. I'd rather British Strong Style be the champ. Pretty Deadly. I don't. And the reason why is because they're going to give these niggas a long-ass title reign for what? That's why I don't like this. Yeah. I don't see this title reign ending anytime soon. I expect them to have the championships for the rest of the year. And them to go through all of the tag teams, makeshift or not. That's why I don't like this, because they're Triple H and Shawn Michaels guys. They dressed up as DX at a damn pay-per-view that they lost. So they get back. I don't see anybody losing or beating them. So nah, I get it, and I know I was joking around, but I'm straight. Like I could have done without this on Friday. I could have done without this on Friday. To the point where, little do you know, Kent, I actually went to sleep before that match. I didn't watch it. I actually didn't watch it. You want to know how I woke up and was like, oh, shit. So they actually did do it. And I also knew they was going to win it because they was putting over the rich history and legacy of the tag team belts. As soon as you start doing that shit, somebody is about to win, or they might get close to. So I could do without DIY being the tag team champs. I get it, and I understand. And they're DX guys, but, I would rather somebody else have that championship, and maybe I missed it or whatever, because like I said, I didn't watch the match, but in the midst of all of that, did Grayson Waller and Austin Theory break up? Did somebody get beat up at the end, or did they just lose the belts and they had their hand on their head and they was looking at the new champs?
Oh no, I am gonna attempt to watch SmackDown. I probably will attempt to watch the end of that match. So we'll see. We'll see. I was definitely expecting the bigger news to be A-Town Down Under breaking up in the midst of that. But I do also believe that they need their own storyline, because it's time. It's time. Even though I think they could be great tag team partners with other people, I think really just having those two step on their own and have their own program is the way to go right now. But I'm definitely cheering for the heel, because it's going to be Grayson Waller.
Yeah. Well, we will see what happens from there. But there we go, man. Great show.
Yeah,
and
man.
I want to publicly apologize to Camp from the port. I just didn't want you to log in. That's all.
I appreciate it.
Log in. That's it. I was just trying to save you time. But I also, like I said, I also just woke up. I woke up right after that and was like, oh, so maybe my sleepiness got me there. Don't hit me with the belt. That's all I ask.
I mean, hey, look, man. In hindsight, I appreciate your assistance. You know what I mean?
No, I just wanted a reaction for the show. That's all.
Hey, man. I get it. I get it, man. Hey, listen. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is part of what makes the First Black Champ podcast what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Who else has a show where a wrestler is hated amongst one of the members of the show, and the other co-host and creator goes out of their way to make sure that is visible to the counterpart?
Hey, look, y'all made sure that I know that Jinder Mahal won belts.
That's true. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen. Like I said, hey, listen, man, I'm not above fault here. I was really about to get into that. I was like, you know what? Hey, maybe this is that about that summer of Jinder Mahal, that maybe I just went a little too far. Maybe I did. I don't know. But apparently, this is what I get in return. So I'm going to take that, pause, and we're going to keep it moving. Because we appreciate y'all for checking out this show every single week, man. We appreciate y'all joining in with the likes, the comments, the shares, the questions, commenting on the chat, even if you do look like a bot. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's happening within the FBC community is greatly appreciated. Understand that although Bang and I could do the show without you, your contributions into the community make it what it is, and that is a special thing. And for that, we sincerely and graciously thank you. So remember, anytime you want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out First Black Champ Podcast. Pick VP DOC, and we are out. Fuck Johnny Wrestling.
Tag team champion, Johnny.
Fuck that too.